the IDF destroyed a secret Hezbollah training camp meant to prepare Adwan Force commandos for a future invasion into Israel. A recently restored launch site for rockets was also hit and then destroyed. And the Lebanese media portal El Mayadin, affiliated with the terrorist organization Hezbollah, reported strikes in the Mount Safi area and in the El Tufa district. For its part, the Israeli Air Force announced that it launched a wave of strikes in Lebanon, also north of the Litani River, as part of Israel's enforcement actions against Hezbollah's military buildup. In addition, military buildings and launch sites of the terrorist organization Hezbollah were struck to prevent the use of advanced terror plots against IDF forces and against the State of Israel. So let us be clear. All the targets that were struck and the conduct of military training in preparation for activity against the State of Israel constitute violations of the understandings between Israel and Lebanon and a threat to the State of Israel. So the IDF declared that they will not let the security of the people of Israel be jeopardized by terrorist elements in Lebanon. And in related story, the deadline set by the United States for the Lebanese government to dismantle Hezbollah is approaching rapidly. And the United States Congress is already preparing to increase the pressure. And this is according to a report on Monday by the El Arabiya news portal. And Congress will vote on a bill this week to consider suspending military aid to Lebanon if it is determined that it refuses to disarm terrorist organization. According to the bill, United States Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth will be required to submit a report on the Lebanese army's progress in disarming Hezbollah by the end of June. Under the warning, the report must include options to suspend assistance to the Lebanese army if it is determined that it refuses to act towards the disarmament of the terrorist organization. So with this in mind, the Trump administration officials are pressing the Lebanese government to move forward with disarming Hezbollah, and a series of senior officials have visited Beirut in recent months. However, the terrorist organization refuses to give up its weapons, and there does not appear to have any significant progress in this issue. However, there are signs that the Lebanese really want to put an end to the war and to actually get rid of the Hezbollah terrorist organization. For instance, this week, the chairman of the Lebanese parliament, Nabih Berri, asked Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, for a fatwa, that is, an Islamic religious ruling that will allow Hezbollah to hand over the precision missiles and the UAVs to the Lebanese National Army as part of a deal to end this war completely. For its part, Israel sees itself as committed to American pressure and to the desire to give negotiations with Beirut in Lebanon a chance. But on the other hand, the European Union is also getting involved, and Reuters reported on Monday that the EU is examining options to strengthen Lebanon's internal security forces in order to allow the Lebanese army to devote itself to its central mission, which is disarming Hezbollah. And on that note, Lebanon's Prime Minister Nawaf Salam said last week that his country wants to see a ceasefire monitoring mechanism plan a more significant role in verifying Israel's claims about Hezbollah's rearmament, as well as in verifying the Lebanese army's work in dismantling the organization's infrastructure. When asked whether this means that Lebanon would accept American and French forces underground as part of the verification mechanism, Salam answered in the affirmative. It's important to note that from the perspective of Israel and the United States of America, the deadline to decide the fate of Hezbollah's weapons north of the Litani River will arrive at the start of the calendar year 2026. However, the main obstacle to disarming Hezbollah stems from a lack of trust by the Lebanese politicians in American policy. It appears that the leadership fears that the United States will change its policy and throw them under the wheels of the bus, leaving Hezbollah to return. It is also important to note that support for Hezbollah has collapsed amongst Christians and Sunnis in Lebanon, and even amongst the Shiites there, has been a significant decline in support following the destruction in the war. And finally, if the issue of dismantling the terrorist organization has not decided very quickly, practical steps will be taken to limit these weapons, and there will be a green light for Israel to continue the process of eliminating Hezbollah's military wing. So here at TVN Israel, we will continue to report on every development